Welcome to the Big Daddy Pod. I'm Big Daddy, also known as Dane. I'm 6'3" and I weigh in at a little over 300 pounds, so I'm certainly big, and I got 5 children I've raised too, so I'm a daddy. So that's why they come to call me Big Daddy. And by they, I mean Miss Deidre. She's the only one I know of that calls me Big Daddy, at least to my face, and I'm fine with that. At any rate, got this little video here. I'm going to be doing some reaction to. And because as you know, I am happy to give my opinion about everything to anybody who will stand there long enough to listen.
Many times people say if he wanted to, he would. But what if it's been 10 years and he still struggles with planning dates and creating romantic moments?
He don't do it often enough, or it's not as extravagant as you would like?
He doesn't do it often enough.
So if there was like a romantic moment score, how many romantic moments have you planned?
Over half.
So it's like 60-40, you're
Yeah.
saying?
You see, this is something that young ladies and old ladies too and old women, they don't understand, because things like this are so important to them, then they think it should be as important to their husbands. But nowadays, you end up more often than not, they're boyfriends. They're eternal boyfriends for years. Oh, we engaged for 5 years, 10 years. We're going to get married one day. You ain't engaged. You just shacked up like a couple hoes. But at any rate, so you run into this a lot because the romance is so important to that woman. You know what the word romance means? It doesn't really mean going out to eat dinner, going on vacations, and then moonlight stroll, that kind of stuff. Romantic, at one point in history, it was actually an insult. Back during the days of the Roman Empire and shortly thereafter, Greek was considered, the Romans were in love with Hellenism, the culture of the Greeks, and that was the high art and the high class and that sort of stuff. And so the common people, the commoners, spoke Latin. And so they were referred to as the Romans. So if something was considered romantic, it was considered kind of lowbrow and simple and common and that sort of stuff. That's where the word romantic comes from. Romance was the behavior of like the lower classes, the less refined. It referred to common everyday events, like washing dishes, mowing the grass, that sort of stuff. When she's washing the dishes and he's out there, painting the house or painting the fence, that's actually what is romantic in the purest sense of that word. But it's been swapped around thanks to Hallmark and Lifetime television and that kind of stuff. It's been swapped around to where women think it means giving gifts and going on vacations and expensive dinners and that sort of stuff. And that ends up being the most important or way up there on top of the list as far as priorities for them.
Talk about bills.
He
Is the
pay all
bills
the bills.
50-50? He pays it all?
Yes.
He paying all the bills. It ain't even 50-50. He pays all the bills.
Romantic.
Romantic.
You don't know how much your rent is, your lights are, your car is, but you had to pick out the restaurant, so you
And
feel
you got
like
a
he's not
ring
doing
on.
enough.
Can you show the
Girl.
ring? It's bust down. Look at it.
We out here fighting for our lives.
He bought you this?
Yeah.
That's crazy. How romantic is that? Is that romantic?
Is that a promise ring?
You know what's going on here now? You looking at a man right here. I know I'm big, fat, and ugly, but I've been married to the same woman for 35 years. We've been together 37 years. So if there's anything I've learned in this time period, it's a lot of how women think. And the reason that she's laughing there and everything, even though she has that big old rock on her finger and she's not paying any of the bills at all, so she basically has the adult responsibilities of a teenager, but the privileges of an adult. And the reason she's here complaining right now is because you just cannot make a woman happy. Even my woman. I mean, I love Miss Deidre to death. She loves me to death. I'd do anything for her. She'd do anything for me. You can't make women happy. So what Miss Deidre has to do in the course of her day, if she were in here right now, she would tell you this, is she has to experience that emotion of unhappiness, those feelings of lack, and she experiences those emotions, and then her adult logical, which is what many women struggle with, is logic. Her logical mind, she has to make a decision to be happy and appreciate the things that she has in life. She just has to make that decision that no matter how she feels emotionally, she has to reconcile in her mind that she does have a good life, that she is taken care of, and that everything in her life is enough.
You actually get down on a knee and like do it this way?
At home, at home,
He did it at the
Where
home.
you want him to do it at?
on the beach.
And I'm telling you, if he had gotten down on one knee to propose to her at the beach like she wanted, because proposing to her at home wasn't good enough, if he had gotten down on one knee at the beach like she's saying he should have done, it would have been the wrong beach. Or it would have been the wrong time of day. Or it would have been too hot outside, or too cold outside, or the wind was blowing, or the wind wasn't blowing at all, or there were too many people at the beach, or there were not enough people at the beach, or something would be wrong. I'm telling you, this is why men typically die earlier than women. It's because women drive so many men to give up the will to live.
I'm not in the business of telling women to settle, because if you need those things, then you need those things. True.
You see that? Now, this lady right here, I mean, she's giving her a little bit of wisdom. She already has called out the fact that God don't even know how much her bills are. So, but here she is for some reason, and this is the biggest problem here. Because men, we hold other men accountable, and if we didn't, we wouldn't have this wonderful thing we call civilization. Men hold other men accountable insofar as fulfilling our duties, okay? Women, it's like pulling eye teeth to get women to criticize other women to their face. See, that's the difference. Now, if they're all by themselves, oh yeah, they'll get together and they'll talk all about Susie or Mary or Shamika or whoever is not there, not present. Oh yeah, they'll talk about that. They'll run down them girls who ain't around. But face to face, we'll not hold one another accountable.
But we have to acknowledge people's romance languages might be different. For him, the idea of romance is providing you with a soft life that you don't know how much your bills are. You don't know the next time the oil need to be changed. You don't know what the lights or the Wi-Fi cost. For him, it's romantic to take care of you. For you, your idea of romance could be based around what we've seen in movies or what we've scrolled on. And I'm not in the business of telling women to not go after what they want, but if you know that's not his idea of romance, then what does it lose you to have to plan those moments with him if he's doing everything else to provide a soft life for you? That frees up some of the energy for you to be the romantic one in the relationship.
Oh, no. That woman cannot step up and take responsibility and take the initiative to do those things, to be that one in the relationship, planning her meals, planning her vacations. And look, in 35 years of Big Daddy, being a Big Daddy, well, I wasn't a Big Daddy all 35 of these years. It was a time when I was an average-sized daddy, and in the very beginning, I was a pretty skinny daddy. But at any rate, in all of these 3.5 decades, I can't think of a family vacation, road trip, dinner out, nothing like that Miss Deidre stepped up and initiated a plan that came up with the idea to do. Not the first one, which doesn't bother me. That's just not her thing. You know, that's just not what she gets into doing, okay? Me, I guess because, you know, I ain't fully grown up yet. I like having fun. It does come to my mind. So for all of these years, I'm the one that planned all that stuff. And I didn't mind one bit. But not all men, and I would wager to say most men are not like that. You're going to find very few men that are like that. So that's the case. But what I notice about this lady's advice, though, in all of what she's saying, she has it sugar-coated and powdered up and softened up to hand to her to where she still is not telling this gal that she's the problem. She's not telling this gal, you need to grow up. This ain't no Beauty and the Beast. This ain't no Cinderella. This is real life, girl. And there's women your age out there that's got 4 kids by 6 different men, can't get none of them to marry her. There's women out there that are living with their boyfriend, are married to some dude who's slapping them around, not taking care of them, calling them all sorts of names every day of the week. And you got a man paying all your bills. He's done proposed to you, got a big rock on your finger and everything. You need to grow up, buttercup. Suck it up. Do what you got to do. Be thankful. Show some gratitude. Respect and honor that man. Grow up. She ain't going to tell her that. What's she going to tell her? Here comes out all of the romantic, lofty, what I call woman poetry. Well, you know, not everybody's romance language. What in the damn hell shit is a romance language? Not everybody's romance language is that. For some people, it's paying the bills, excuse me. For some people, it's paying the bills and so on and so forth. What's the problem with that way she explained that? What's that problem? The woman on stage has managed to take the problem, which is this gal right here. See this gal right here? Selfish, self-centered, main character. Everything's about her happiness, her wholeness, her feelings. She wants to be seen and heard and understood, and she wants to feel validated and supported and encouraged and built up. It's all about her. But the woman on stage took that woman's personality flaws, character flaws, and has flipped it around and made it into some sort of a deficiency on the man's part. Well, not everybody's romance language is that sort of thing. For some people, it's boring stuff like paying the bills. It's not that there's a problem with the man. It's just that there's a problem with the man. And the woman on the stage probably doesn't even realize that that's what she just told this gal here, was that she is not the problem. The problem is that the man just doesn't speak the right language. The man just doesn't speak the right romance language. So what's that mean? That means now this man has got to be taught better. He's got to be mentored into being a better husband. So this gal here, or her friends, or her mama, or her sister, or somebody is going to do what? They're going to go about trying to teach this man how to speak another romance language, whatever in the damn hell shit that is anyway, so that this gal can feel better. She can feel loved. It ends up being put on the lap of, dropped at the feet of, blamed on that man no matter what. And this gal ain't never going to be accountable and never going to have anybody to tell her to suck it up, buttercup.
Because while he's out working to take care of 100% of the house, that gives you more free time to come up with fun date night things to do.
I mean, at least, credit where credit's due for the woman on stage. At least she is recognizing the nobility of this man fulfilling his duties of paying all of the bills. But there's still that kernel that, well, he's a good guy. He's a great provider. He just doesn't speak the same romance language that you do. So it's a deficit on him. Instead of telling this gal that she needs to start speaking the same romance language that he does. And she needs to start looking at having those bills paid and all that sort of stuff as romantic. She's the one that needs to adjust, not him. But the woman on stage is not telling her that, at least not yet. I haven't seen the whole video, so let's see.
I wish I could be home right now going, what restaurant is me and my man about to eat at? While he at work doing all of the goddamn heavy lifting.
More. Right. More. It's always, it's more. I want more.
I mean, really, you back it up and you go all the way back to Genesis in the garden. Adam and Eve. Nobody had to work. There was no sickness. There was no death. There was no lack. They're just walking around in paradise. Everything was so peaceful. They didn't even have to wear any clothes. I ain't got nobody to talk to. It's lonely. I'm tired of hearing Adam. He talk about the same thing over and over. He ain't got much to talk about because he the only man on the planet. What has he done? I'm just, look at this serpent over here. I'm going to make me a friend. It is beautiful and good to eat, isn't it? Yeah.
People used to leave relationships because they weren't happy. Now they leave relationships because they want to be happier. The more you see, the more you want. The more you see, the more you want. The more food you see, the more food you want. 90% of the commercials that you see is to sell you something, is to convince you that what you have is not good enough. And as a man, what does that look like? When every time you come home, the price go up.
That's true. That's true. More. And this was not as big of a problem. Well, it was as big of a problem, but it wasn't as detrimental to the community and society as a whole prior to 1968. In 1968, when the Gipper, Ronald Reagan, governor at the time of California, when he signed no-fault divorce into law, and just like most other things that start out in California, it swept across the nation. So now this gal, she can go ahead and marry this guy, thinking she's going to make him better, thinking she's going to teach him how to serve her better. She can do that and maybe have a kid or two for this guy who's paying all the bills. And at that point, they're hooked together for at least 18 years. 18 years, have one of your kids, got you for 18 years, right, Kanye? And then she could wake up one day and just decide that there's somebody out there, somebody who's going to love her more and be able to be more romantic for her and is going to really just connect. And they're just going to, here's the word they're using nowadays, vibe together. And everything is going to be just wonderful, just like she sees on the television or just like she sees on the TikTok. And everybody's going to be happy, except for that man and them children when she just packs her suitcase and goes to the courthouse and fills out some paperwork, and he doesn't have to agree to it. The children don't have to agree to it. She can take his children from him and at least half of his assets. All because he just doesn't plan dinner enough. He doesn't plan our dates. He doesn't plan the vacations and everything. And you know what she'll say? I know this because I've heard many women say this in my life. Oh, no, he was a good guy. He was a really good guy and a great father and a wonderful provider. But I just wasn't happy. There just wasn't any chemistry. You know, we just didn't click or jive, and I just wasn't happy, and I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be happy. And she'll wreck her own home because she thinks there's some fleeting, enigma phantom out there called happy. Prior to no-fault divorce, she couldn't do that. She had to show actual grounds to dissolve that family. But now she can just get up, put on her little fuzzy bedroom slippers, and walk out to be happy. And I'm dang.